So we pause. Okay, right. So again, I know you're not going to believe me, but all I did was just draw that up. I didn't know we were coming down here. I was just looking at that, going, okay, well that looks like an area where I might want to get interested, right? So I got a double bottom here. I've got a, again, let's just take out what I drew. Now, okay, so 21 McGinley. Now, if you don't have this, right? Again, it's not so much that I'm trying to make a point of like, well, you got to have that, but certainly you can see the evidence. Okay, well, there's the pre-market mid. Well, okay, well, to have that marked, you'd want to have our initial balance indicator, right? So you can see the open, the IB mid, the pre-market low, the opening range high, right? All the things that come with the initial balance indicator, which I will remind you again, as I've said in almost every video I've ever done. I don't care what anyone tells you, right? I don't care. You can tell me it's VWAP. IB high, IB low are the two most important levels on the board every day. That never changes. Okay, so now here, look here. Now it's 10:30. There's the test of the IB high. Well, this is, again, if you trade this every day as I do, this is not the ideal setup. You really, again, as I was just saying, you want it to be coming in for the first time. Now, okay, one thing that you'll find is very consistent, because traders know this, right? And I just call them whales, right? Institutions, bank, whatever. Those that can move the market know this, right? To break the IB high, this takes massive amount of force, right? They need the size here. Well, here you can see that 177 lot as we push here, because there's natural resistance there. And what I've deduced over many years of watching this is that there's an algorithm that sits there, fades it first test, first test of the low, first test of the high, right? Fades it all the time. So there's a potential scalp trade there, and I would do it a very similar ATM, where I would take a 3 lot, first two go out at 5 ticks, and then I'd leave a runner, because I've seen them go from IB high to IB low. But the scalp is the first piece of it that you're after. So here, for that trade, if we get a little bit too far, well, then the IB high becomes the support. As bulls will do everything they can to try and keep it out, to try and bring in the higher time frame traders. Bears push it back into the IB, right? So this is a really, other than the first test, this is a dangerous place to be entering, because it's so thick with algo activity that I would caution you. Now, if as I just said, if you get way above it and we're coming back to it, natural support. But when you'll see the market, particularly middle of the day, if there's been a push one direction or the other, will just grind along the edges, right? And because bears will be trying to pull it back in. And you'll see this particularly knocking on the door underneath, right? So they're trying to get back into the IB, and bears will do everything they can to push them back out, and the same thing at the highs. Again, it's just comes from a lot of screen time. But watching for this, my point being here, Jesus Christ, so much for a demo on this. But let's just call it trader talk. Well, okay, 2 strong bars here. Now I've got a surge, meaning that I've got a sequence of 4 bars here of rising delta. So that's not an ideal scenario to be jumping on a short. Now here, as this bar has just started, okay, I got a little, the bar's got almost 2,000 ticks to go, right? So here, it's a 2,000 tick bar. We're only 4 ticks into it. So, okay, do I want to screaming? Do I want to get short here? Well, maybe not. Or let's just look at where we are here in context. Note we are still in a squeeze. Now, next bar, my guess would we would probably be out of the squeeze, since we're already beyond 2.5 times. 2.5 times the standard deviation here at this current volatility level, at this current rate here. So we're already pushing outside of the Bollinger Band. So are we, potentially due for a little pullback? I would not be sitting here. I'd do it manually myself here. But let's since we're supposed to be focused over here. Oh, well, let's see if the squeeze ends. They're going to push through here. Pretty good. Okay, so we're still in the squeeze. We're 3 bars. We've got 4 bars of squeeze here. So we have this contraction here. I'm kind of surprised. Well, all right. So there's the. Let's see. Well, that's probably the scalp right there. All right. So there you go. Okay. So I'm going to pause that right there. Now, if any of you that are still watching, I'm probably talking to an audience of 2. Well, there it is right there, right? So there's the first test of the IB high. So this is why I would have been a little bit cautious here. But the scalp likely plays here. So if you're after, well, the way to take it here is once we come back in. So on the break of the IB, well, there's 6 ticks already, so your scalp's out. Assuming you got that a good entry there as we came in, right? Assuming you didn't have much slippage there. So your 5, 6 ticks are out here. Let's see what we get. Oh, okay, you're out now, right? So you got 10, 12 ticks there. So your scalp is out. So there's the IB trade, right? Like every day. Now, okay, there's a good example, right? So we're back in now to drive this out. Look at the muscle that comes back in here. Boom, 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 boom. Lots of delta events here, and that looks like it may as well be a measured move on a smaller degree. Maybe a bit of a front run if it was. It's always interesting to look left, just to while you're practicing, to kind of say, okay, what did we? So I mean, this kind of looks like we had. This is where the sequencing was happening. Okay, you know, are you seeing something that's not there? Maybe, right? Here's the high volume. This is high volume here. This is wick rejection. This is the launch point coming back down to retrace it. The kind of thing you can do while you're practicing. Right? It's not likely to be something you're doing in real time while you're trading this. Now, do we continue to rally here? Well, again, I don't remember, but okay. Well, here I got sequencing here, sequencing. There's signs here of some resistance here, but we're trying to make a decent run here. Now, I would be, me personally here, I would be reluctant buying up here. Now I've got a delta drop. I'd want to see a little bit more retracement if I could get it. I don't like to chase the highs, right? Why? One thing that I know that whales will never do is buy the highs, right? They'll take it down first, right? And they never, ever, ever buy the highs or sell the lows, right? They'll take it down because they can. They'll take it down first. So, right, if the intention is to have a big up, right, it'll be down first, right? So they can. It's just trust me on that. Okay, so now we're testing the IB high, right? Can they get back inside, right? Bulls will want to keep it out. Is that enough here? I don't know. I don't remember. I'd like to see it come down a little bit lower here. Now, right, you gotta go back and forth. Anything here? Well, we're out of the squeeze. So here's the push out of the squeeze. Oops. I'm so used to being on one side, not both, right? So here we're dealing with this. So if we were to come back down into any of this, right, would be of interest here. We got a fair value gap here. If it's going to be a slight retracement here coming into the opening range high volume POC, golden zone here, yeah, maybe it might be of interest. Again, I don't like to buy the highs, so I would be reluctant to take that. Well, we're right in the, what time it's 10:35. You're kind of right in that area where I was kind of suggesting, okay, careful up here, right? There's a lot. This is a critical zone here, and we're also one edge of value. Is that going to run? I wouldn't buy that myself. Just what I'm looking for is to see trap traders up here. So I'd like to see them. I'm looking for people on the wrong side of the market here. Now, if anyone's on the wrong side here, maybe it's bears. There's a push up. There's a session high. Okay, we're getting a little. This is, what time is it now? It's 10:35. Still enough volatility here to be looking for a trade. If we come back down here, again, this would be of interest to me. So here's the fight at the IB high, right? Very, very common. It's kind of commentary here. All right, let me here. I'm not doing much of trying to demo this. Well, here, let me get to another decision point. So let me pause this here. I'll come back with it loaded up. Okay, I'm forward now to 2:17 in the afternoon. Before I turn this on here, there's just a couple of things to note here. It looks very different to your eye here when you're looking at it on the footprint chart, as opposed to the candlestick, because everything's bigger, right? Obviously, so that candle looks bigger than it might if you're from what you're used to looking at. So as we sit here now looking at this, well, oh, okay, pretty good pop here. We're back challenging the IB high. Now off to the right here, I see some potential resistance, and well, you can see what that's tied to, right? So here's the last golden zone here. If I draw this over, right? So we didn't quite get there, so it's still on the board. So as we're kicking into it right now. Now, I make that distinction here because if we come over, and I'm trying to encourage you to do this back and forth so you get perspective. Oh, let's see, where were we? I think it was about 11ish. We'd just gone into the noon hour. Europe was just closing. In 11:30, I think, when I've just fast forwarded through all this because there's virtually nothing to do here. Well, so one thing to notice here, so a couple of things. I had mentioned to you that this is a really not an ideal place to be entering. It's very easy to get just eaten alive here, just with the chop. And there's a couple of things to note here. Of course, it looks less dramatic here than it does over on the footprint chart. But look at all the squeezes here. I mean, that's a lot of just consolidation. Now, that would make sense just in terms of the typical volatility ranges of the times where you might anticipate that. And that, so here we're 11:30. Here's Europe's closing as we go through the lunch hour in New York, and we come into the 2 o'clock hour. Well, that's a whole lot of consolidation, right? So again, that's why I like having the squeezes on the chart here, so I don't miss them. Because it's easy, you fade that thing to gray and you're like, oh God, I didn't notice it. It's almost impossible not to notice a squeeze when it's right in front of you like that. So looking at this, the other thing to note here, once from this morning where we had nice big swing structure, now once we get into the, what was it, 11:40-ish, look at how the swing structure contracts. Now, yeah, we got one here, it's a little bit, but basically, and you see it reflected here, as these are 2 times the ATR. It's just swing, just chop. This is very dangerous to try and trade in. Now, again, I mean, in your face, right? Oh, consolidation. Now, I know from that squeeze comes expansion. Okay, all right. So, did you have one here? Yeah, you probably did. I mean, so they're pretty good, right? Right there. It's not one I took, but as I sit here now, it's starting to get a little bit better over here. Now, note here, I've had this bang here. Well, of course, part of what I'm trying to remind you is that the IB is just such a terrible place to try and enter, and it's constantly like this, right? So you just look here and you see, oh, geez, I can't get that to draw. Come here. Okay, we look at all of this, all of that chop. Right, so you think here, you wait, okay, it's going to break, we're back down, right, straight shot down. Okay, here we go. Right. Running into resistance here. I want to encourage you to try and wait for a little clarity, wait for there's more distance where you've got a clear line of sight to, okay, well, if we break here, I've got nothing ahead of me until I get to the pre-market high. Now, this is a pivot here that obviously was significant to the market. It's still on here, but I'm just coming out of a squeeze. Now, these are good signs. Okay, I've got aggressive buyers here. Okay, can I see that reflected over here? I'm in the last bar of a squeeze. Okay, so I come over here looking at these two. Okay, well, here's right where we are as we're breaking that IB coming out of this squeeze. Okay, it looks like signs of strength. Here's the POC. Now, there's still, this bar has just barely started, but I've got boom, boom, back. Now, what would I like to see if it's my preference? I'd like to see this go up, get a little further from the IB so that I don't end up doing something like that, or any of these here. I just know this is algo thick in here, so I'm going to take that off. Okay, so ideally, the market doesn't give us ideal, right? I'd like to see something like that. Now come back, something in that, okay, all right, we're going to go up here. Oh, come back down here. Now this would be an area of interest where I'm back over on the footprint chart saying, oh, okay, do I want to turn on the buy side here and see if I can get a retracement here? Again, I'm trying to emphasize fewer trades, not more, which is, I think, the biggest mistake when people invest in this. It's too many trades, right? They think, oh my God, I'm going to look at all the trades I'm going to get. Fewer trades, not more, just be more selective. Okay, well, that sure looks like, do I want to buy that? You got to, there's good signs of it right here. So the blue, meaning, okay, where the delta is finishing near its max. Okay, now, can we assume follow through? No, we can't, right? And we got to look left and say, okay, well, certainly right here, again, I did not look ahead, right? I'm just looking at that going, okay, well, that would be something I'd pay attention to. A couple of wicks here. Here's where I had some volume sequencing. So sellers got aggressive here, led to this. Note where we pivot. Do you see? It's just, so here we're hitting an algo target. Here we're coming to a golden zone. We pop back here. Here's the 50 in the golden zone. IB, right? 21 McGinley, right? This stuff, it's on the chart here for a reason. Now we come back down here, double bottom at the same golden zone here. Now we're back up again. We're back to this golden zone. Algo, right? It's not why it moves, how it moves. So here we come back up. Now, okay, well, I've got algos here. We'll see here. I could do it this way. So look at I've got a golden zone and a 50 I'm dealing with right now. Then I got to get into, then I'm into an order block. Then I've got more up here. Then I've got that's value area high from yesterday. So, there's traffic here. But again, if I can get a little further, if I can get a little more distance, then that IB high becomes really solid support, right? Now that's what I'm looking for. Now, do I get that? I swear to you, I don't remember. But let's Let's just see what we get. Now, I'm watching here, but I'm not buying it. No, that's 30 times. Let's trying to get down here. We'll go to, well, let's go to 2 times. Let's see if we can get this thing to get. In this case, I would be looking long only. Okay, good signs, right? Good signs of strength here. I wouldn't want to chase that myself, right? Personally, I wouldn't. Now we're coming back here, maybe not quite. So here's my support, but again, we're right in that range. We're right next to the IB. I'd be a little bit cautious here. Again, you just never know what the fuck's going to happen here, right? It can be just it's a wild card. It's a flip of a coin here. You got to be careful here because there's so much misdirection here because of the IB, right? That's why. It's no other reason. So you have to factor that in as well as just the bar-to-bar analysis in the footprint chart as to where am I? Where am I, right? So when I've got something threatening here, so it's on, it's off, right? So it's there. This is the trade-off when you have it in real time. It's there. Was it something? And that's gone, right? So I see a big print here, so big sellers here as well. Here, if I open this up a little bit, we see this big print here. So we've got some size happening here right at the 65. Probably not a coincidence. Okay, all right. Looks like, okay, maybe we're going to hold here. I want a little retracement here. We're right back here. So if I pause this just to keep that context, right? I don't know if this is driving you crazy or you're just bored to death, but still in a squeeze, right? So we had one bar here, now we're back, right? Back in a squeeze. Let's see if we can get, let's get over a bar here. Okay, we're still right in that range where it's this high danger here. A little bit of a squeeze here. Now maybe we're going to start to get some legs here. We're starting to go. Okay, looks better here. This has been a nice move. There's been no retracement here equal to 2 times the ATR. So I'm kind of mindful of that. Are we going to get some legs here and have this? We got a double bottom here to potentially go. Time to turn this thing on. I wouldn't here. Again, it's just me. A little deeper and then go again. Okay, well here comes some stacked imbalances. Do I want to sell it? Not necessarily, right? For the same reason. I don't want to buy it. This is no man's land up here. That's how I describe it to members. I'd be careful there. I don't say that to steer you out of a trade. I say that out of I don't know how many thousands of hours of screen time. I just know that's a dangerous spot to be trading. Okay, so all right. Well, again, I know you're going to think I set this all up, but it's just because every day I tell my members the same thing. Careful up here. This is the no man's land. Even though we got some distance here, you got one came out of that squeeze. You got a good pop, right? Again, look at the swings, right? We're not getting compared to the morning where we had these nice big fat swings, right? That's very, very typical. Also, it's Monday or chopping, chop, right? Okay, now we're back in a squeeze. Here's look at the Bollinger Bands contracting. Okay, so let's get. God, I gotta get a. I didn't think I was going to take a whole day here. Okay, so it's still in a squeeze. Now note here, I'm leaving an order block behind. So here I'm in an algo zone here where there's the target for that algo. Now is it going to go down and get it? I don't know, but I'm still in a squeeze. So I'm not anxious to jump into the market here in the midst of a squeeze, right? I'm looking for signs of strength or weakness here. Nothing. Let's come over here, see if anything. Okay, well, all right. So it looks different over here, right? So here's the stacked imbalances. Now I'm getting the delta drop. Now, if you're a retracement trader, okay, starting to get a little more interesting, but right off the bat, if I'm thinking retracement, I got to come right back and deal with the IB high again and this order block. Now, all right, we're going to go deeper here. That's 3 in a row. Was there a short there? Yes, right? Hindsight trading. I would not have taken that, right? I'm looking for the buy side. Okay, POC, right? Everything, right, that it can react to. The opening range high, POC, golden zone, all right there. So let's just see here. Any clues here that would maybe, okay, maybe it's time to turn this thing on. Back in a squeeze, right? I mean, squeeze. So I think a lot of people think, oh, squeeze, that's so old. That's old news. Really? Well, it may be old, but it's certainly just as present in the market, right? Is that there is contraction, expansion, right? I don't think that's just about the markets. That's pretty much a universal law. So as we sit here, I mean, take it through your own chart, right? I mean, this is one I had made for me. If you'd like one of these, you're gonna have to request it because I had my partner make that for me. That's a Gann high low with a squeeze wrapped around it, so I don't miss one. But I had to make that for me specifically because I'm so focused on where's the squeeze, right? Where's the squeeze? Because I know what's coming next. So if you'd like to have one of those, you're gonna have to write us, make a request. We just don't have it on the website. Anyway, I digress. Okay, so here, okay, what's all right? I got algo ping pong, golden zone, target, chop, golden zone, target to the tick, down to the golden zone, IB, right? We're just in all of this dangerous place to be trading, right? It's okay. So even if we come now, you look here and you say, okay, well, there's the retracement. That's what you're waiting for. Oh, now I got an order block, a stacked imbalance, and a fair value gap, and the IB high I got to deal with here. I said this is just too much traffic here. There's no room to move. Now, saying that doesn't mean that we couldn't move 20 points from here. But in terms of you protecting capital, going, okay, now see if it goes here, and I promise you I don't know. If it goes here, then you'll be like, well, that was stupid. I should have just taken the trade. I got the retracement, I take it. Yeah, but if you take it and you get stopped out and you take a full hit there, are you not going to come back to this and go, well, maybe next time I'll pay attention to where the IB is. Maybe next time I'll wait for the squeeze to come out, or at least signs of it getting some directional bias before that last, so here we're starting to see signs of it before the squeeze is officially done. You start to see that. Okay, maybe if you want to be a little more aggressive, you can go ahead and take that. But for the most part here, ideally you want to let that consolidation pass. Now here we're right back in the middle of it. So even if it goes here, it would be lower risk, right? So again, we're talking about the risk reward scenario. You've got to choose wisely. My view is I don't care what happens, up or down 200 points. That is a low probability entry based on what we can see right now. Again, it might be a monster winner coming out of that. But it's not time for me to go over and look at turning on the auto trader yet, right? I mean, what have I got here? I've got a higher high based to this high, but I've got a lower high based on this one. Double bottom here. I'm still in just a chop zone here. Again, look at the swing structure. Tight, consolidated, and I'm in the middle of a squeeze. Anything down here I can glean? Well, okay, we're back to zero. So if we're going to go, boy, that's going to have to kick, right? Maybe I can see that over here. Boy, if that's going to come, look what it's got to get through. That's my point. Now, do you want to turn it on here? I wouldn't. I can see the resistance right in front of me. Doesn't mean it can't go, but I'm very, very selective, particularly with this thing, about what I'm going to turn it on to. Again, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, is that a good spot to be trading? Jeez, what time is it? We're at 226. Okay, we're starting. Okay, something, right? Mixed signals, right? You're right. Do you see where you are? You're right where the stacked imbalance is at the IB at an order block. Okay, do you want to turn that on? I wouldn't. Again, it's just me, right? I'm just saying. I wouldn't turn that on, right? I would be kicking myself if it was a loser. Now, if it's a winner, you get away with it, and so you do it the next time, right? And one of these times, I promise you, you're going to be sorry about that. Okay, so do we go here? Time to turn it on? There's not enough yet there for me to say, oh, okay, all right, maybe. Okay, there's delta tail, and it's there, and now it's gone. Right, that's what you're going to deal with. Okay, well, that was kind of good. You had a delta drop, but this is why, as a retracement trader, I'm cautious about a delta drop as an entry for momentum, because what I want that delta drop to, here. Do you see what you get here at this delta drop? So what do I get right here? An exhaustion print right there, right? So I've got potential for, look at that imbalance there, 71 to 8. So all of a sudden we're starting to go. Now, is it time to buy? Well, I just spent the last 10 minutes telling you this is not a good place to be entering the market. Now, if we go up and come back down, different story. But right now, again, it's just a flip of a coin there. Okay, maybe I have to turn this up. Nothing, right? Okay, so I'm starting to see signs of strength. Good, right? We got to deal with that right there. Okay, what's above, right? Where am I, right? I still got golden zones up above. Okay, and am I good? Good. Here, I got 3 bars in a row. Is that enough? Here's that order block coming back into play, right? Looked like it was going to break. Oh, hello. Nope, still there. Here's all my shorts, my power shorts here, my imbalance here. Holding the fair value gap. Which way do we go? Do you have any idea here? Do you have any? Is there any reason to be in the market here? I would suggest not. No edge. That's basically what we're saying here. There's no edge here. Oh, here, let's turn this up a little bit. I hope I'm not boring people to death here. Anything. Nothing yet. Still in a squeeze. What did we do on the retrace, right? Golden zone. Golden zone, golden zone, golden zone. It's just back and forth. Do you want to turn it on here? I don't. Coming out of a squeeze, I don't know if we go up or down here. I just know we're in consolidation, right? What time is it now? It's 2:31, right? So maybe, right? It's time to start letting that go. I'd still, I know it's not quite. You know, it doesn't seem like, okay, it just seems like we're waffling here. And it's starting to look, we got mixed signals here. What I want is up and then back down. There's the target. There's the algo target of this last, and here's our golden zone sitting right there. All right, so you see this, we got a target right here on this golden zone here. Squeeze is over. Okay, looking better. We got a golden zone right here. I don't want to buy right into that. I want to see if that clears, and then we come back down. Well, there you go. There's the reaction. So if I turn that on, do you see? Right here's that's the 618. That's the 65. That's yesterday's value area high. All right. So okay, maybe not. Okay, we're trying again, trying to break that golden zone here. We've got. I do it this way. All right, I've got this resistance up here, and I've got a pivot that was significant to the market here. Pinged it again here. Okay, coming back now, maybe back down for a test here. We'd get an IB low. Once again, it's not really flowing. I guess maybe that's the right way to say it. Some sequencing on the negative. Can they break that golden zone, right? That's where the resistance is. You can see it right here. Can we get out of that? No, some sequencing here. Do we want to take it yet? Okay, maybe. Right. What I want is up, and then I want to back down, right? So this one here, I didn't want to take that because there's not enough room and I had a stacked imbalance there. So here now I'm up at the resistance. I just marked that off. Okay, is that now? Oh, there's a big trade right there. Okay, so now we're coming back down. Okay, if we come back down a little bit, we got now I've got an order block here. So there's the first little tap into it, but do you see how I'm in I've got no room to move here. I'm up to the resistance, and I've got an order block here. So buy, sell, neither. I mean, I guess I'm trying to recreate what you're dealing with. Okay, we're starting to get a little traction here. There's that level. We broke the golden zone. Good sign. Now, if we come back down here, yeah, I'm interested. Coming back down. I got some prints here. Oh, problem. I'd like to see that come a little bit lower here. We got negative delta on that. I'd love it down here if I can get one a little further down here. Now remember, what I'm looking for here is a series of trap traders or reversal prints. Okay, so a little sequencing coming down here. So we got a little top heavy up here. Now there's a tail, right? It's a tease of a tail. We don't know if it sticks or not. It has to get through. We still got almost 2,000, almost a full bar to go. So coming back down here, okay, this is the zone here. Now because we've gotten far enough away that if we come back down to it, no, I'd be, interested here. Okay, still some red print down here, so I'm not seeing aggressive buying here, but I'm not really seeing aggressive selling here. The size is relatively modest here. These are the biggest prints I'm seeing down here. So as we're coming down, okay. So if I'm looking for at least 2 of these. So I'd like to see signs of a trap trader down here, or traders. Well, here I'm not quite real time. All right, so there's a little bit of a POC that looks consistent here. Again, I'm kind of looking over here. Okay, maybe. Okay, so let's turn it on.
Order submitted.
Okay, let's see if we get there. That didn't take long. I was kind of surprised it came that fast. Okay, so I've got an area here. It's too soon. Could be.
Order filled.
Stop. Let's see what happened at the IB. Let's turn it on again. Testing the IB. Now, do I get any signs of weakness here? I guess we can. Well, we'll take that off in a second. Testing the IB. All right. So here are those. Here's those aggressive shorts. They did cover. So I got trap shorts up here. Oh, pardon me. Excuse me. These guys nailed the turn. I don't have any trap longs up there. I've got some aggressive shorts here coming back this way. We're armed here, so if anything fires, I got to get through that pivot. I got a golden zone here. I got to watch out for.
Order submitted.
Okay, so we get at that high. Fortunately, here we're on the break there. Coming back to test here. Good sign. This is only 5 ticks to get to that. Now I'm looking for a new high here up at the value area high. Some size here I don't like to see. All right, so I'm just kind of waffling. We haven't gotten far enough yet to have a whole lot of conviction here, or to turn this into continuous. Potential tail. That's why these are going to come and go right throughout the course of the bar here. You can't react unless you're getting exactly something that you're looking for. So there's the first one here. Now, is this too ambitious? I'd be watching this. I could turn this on just out of curiosity here. If we get a second one here, if we're going to get a big rip here. I'd not want another one there. I would move this to break even. Oh, here we'll do it manually. Do it right like that. I think that's got a bug in it. Now we get it. Too much. Edge of value. Maybe been too. Let's see. I've got some support down here. May have been too much. I mean, essentially, it's a free trade at this point.
Order filled.
Okay, so let's pause. Okay, so let me pause it there. Okay, so we took a stop here, going a little bit early here. Then here was the retest. Now note what we did. Right, golden zone. So this one a little too soon. Here, let's get this off. All right, a little too soon here. Looked like you had the ingredients here. We'd come back. Oh, this is always good, right? So this is a good idea. All right, when you come back to this to say, okay, was that a reasonable spot to be looking? All right. You know, I wouldn't be kicking myself about that one, right? It's hard to see that coming, right? That's see now I was a little impatient there, right? Maybe I'm worried about boring you guys. So here, a little impatient, right? So ideally, I wanted to get a pivot here, which eventually we got, and thus we got our winner. But note, right? So it's 1 tick beyond the IB high, right? Golden zone, 50, and a golden zone with a target up here, which looks like it's going to get it. So as a retracement trader, this is right in the pocket for what I like to do, right? There's that, right? We come right back down here. There's my target. So when we got here, even though we turned it on a little bit early, I would not have gone with, oh shit, I got to reverse and go short, because I know that I'm coming back to this is natural support here, and bulls are going to make a big effort to try and keep it out. So I mean, in a way, that's good. I don't want to show you nothing but winners, right? It's reality. You're going to have losers, right? You're going to get the timing, just you're not going to get it right. There's 1 bar difference. So you can see here, you've got stacked imbalances. Well, let's come over to this side here, and then I'm going to wrap this up. So when we went on this bar here, let's see if we can recreate over here. This was it's the inside bar. This was the bar I took. Right? So. Right, based on what I saw in the footprint. So it was this candle right here. Right, so there's the spurt of delta here. Okay, if you're watching over here, you got enough ingredients here. It looks like we're going to go probably a little early here on this. But I knew we were kind of in the zone. Now that's the trade-off with a tight stop. Right, they nail you here. Now look, as we hit the low, still a squeeze. So as we come out of the squeeze, now there's the order block. Here's the pivot. Here, I drew that. Right, so now we're coming here. There's the change of character. Right, that's the last pivot. Then we get, it's not till here we get break of structure. There's the session high. It would be the week high, right? Since in market structure, that's the week high. So next target, well, here I've got these pivots, or we've already cleared that. Coming up to the pre-market high and another fair value gap, another order block, and yesterday's high. So hopefully I gave you a few things there. I would love to load this up with 20 different winners here, but I keep coming back to I think the biggest risk with new traders getting this kind of horsepower is over trading, right? And I'm trying to, through talking you through this, be more careful about what you're choosing and when you turn this on, because you can eat through a grand turning this thing. Just here's what you don't want to do. Don't do that. Now, well, let's see what happens with live money. Again, that's handing a loaded gun to a chimpanzee. Don't do that. Well, I mean, you want to, in sim, play around with it, right? But then try and learn something from it. If you're in a spot here, like where we were looking at all those squeezes, I mean, an alternative is to switch it to ranging market, and then it's going to reverse everything. So what would be a buy signal becomes a sell signal, and what becomes a sell signal becomes a buy signal. So it takes all of these and flips them upside down in terms of what they execute upon. A little bit more advanced use application here, because you've got to pick the time just right, and that can be time of day, it can be a lull in the market where there's no news. You'd have to be very mindful of any potential news events, so you got to be a little bit cautious with that. I would tell you probably 80-20. 80% of the time you're going to want to be in trending mode, because you're looking for those. Also, it would be a function of what your targets are. Right, it's here with a 5-tick initial scalp target. Going into trending mode doesn't mean that I'm looking for 20 S&P points. Things to think about, right? But there's no way around the fact that to develop a skill set with this and make this a worthwhile investment and a worthwhile addition to your tools as a trader, you're going to have to really practice with it. In the same way, you're going to need, I don't know if you've traded with a footprint chart before or not. We've got a whole lot of people that are trading with them for the first time, and it's going to take practice. So you can't get in here and go, well, now I can see in the candles, so I'm going to do nothing but make money. No. Trading did not get any easier, but your decision making, I'd like to think, you'll have more information to make the right decisions. Okay, God, this has been way too long. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap it there. I'm going to try and do some shorter videos here, but we have so many new traders working with this and this kind of tool for the first time that I thought might be worthwhile to do one longer video here. I'll probably cut this into 2, and just a conversational style, just walk you through it. Here we're up till 3 o'clock in the day. Okay, with that, I wish you guys good luck. Let us know how it's going, and we'll see you on the next time.